How's it going, guys? It's urdiub here, and today I'm bringing you, yes, that's right, my created plays. So I've been waiting. A couple people, haven't had the time to do this much, but a couple people have asked me to see my plays, so I'm going to go through them. The main plays that help me out in terms of scoring is the rush. You can kind of see by the goals. Most of the goals come from like the breakout plays and that kind of stuff. So I'll leave that till the end because that's what I would say is the most important. We also have one overload play. We have a breakout play, one regular, one aggressive, but I only use the aggressive one because I have my offensive pressure set onto aggressive. So I guess we can start off with the overload. I'll show you how you can use these plays, different methods, the advantages of it. Also, there are a couple disadvantages, as you'll see in terms of like the rush and the breakout plays, because if it doesn't work out properly, or the computer or the other player reads it, it could come back to bite you. So you always got to be ready for what happens. So anyways, here is the first play, and what this is an overload play. It's actually a Superman's play. He created this for NHL 12, I think it was. And what it does is you have the man with the puck. In this case, I think it's Phil Kessel in the bottom corner, and there's a lot of possibilities. What you do, main part is you want to get up open, shoot it to the guy waiting for the clapper, and just rip a clapper in. And now here's the problem: if someone's watching him and you make that pass, there's a good chance they poke it away and it leads to the breakaway. So that's why I have Gunnarsson in this case, just kind of staying there. As you can see, it will work, especially if you have a guy with a heavy clapper. Another play that you can make is sending it back down here and starting the cycle. Also, what you have here is you have James Van Riemsdyk like staying in front of the net, and you could just hit him on the low shot, and that would work pretty well. So anyways, that's the first play, overload. It'll only work if you're in the proper positions, so it doesn't happen often, but when it does and you can hit that defense with the clapper, good things happen. So anyways, let's go into our next scenario. Whoops. Go into our next scenario, which will be, I think I'll do the breakout next. And I always play aggressive. So this is how it works. This is the only play on my breakout. What I have is a guy behind the net, ready. So what you can do is I have two guys breaking out. So what you can do is fire them with a pass, and these guys break out to the puck. So one or the other, you gotta do a normal pass, saucer pass, or what you can do is wait a bit and then just give them a nice dump and they go after it, and you try to make a play that way. Another play that you could do is fake the breakout this way, come back and hit this guy in stride. And what you have now is that guy is going up, and you have two options right here. One, Kadri, two, Kessel, right? And with them, you could expand the play and go onto the rush. Also, you have another guy here. If you feel like they're covered, you could just come back in and fire to this guy. And once again, you have two people ready to break out, and more people are joining with you, right? So that's basically that play. Now we'll go on to the rush plays that I feel are the most important for me. Let's go into the two-man. So there's three types. I have 6 plays, but they're just the alternates of each other. Now, these are the three main plays. When the man in the middle has the puck and he has someone on his wing, what I have is this guy would go up. What he could do is leave a drop pass, which could lead to a clapper. Or what he can do is, if he doesn't want to risk it, you could go to the outside and this guy's going to the net, and that could create a chance as well. So that's the first kind of play. And then the second kind of play is when you have one man on one far wing and the other on the other wing. So no man in the center, but one of the wings has it. What I have is a guy just going down the middle. You could do any path, but what you have is the other guy. What he's doing is he's skating and kind of making an angle towards the net. So what you can do is, with the puck, come here, stop, feed him, and then you have a good chance to cut across and get a goal that way. You can always just stop here, cut in, and then feed like him, and boom. And that's one of the main plays that really works well in this game. But there is also a chance that the other guy's hustling down the ice way too hard, and what he does is he crashes into the goalie. And that could lead to a lot of goaltender interference calls, which happens to me, but the positives outweigh the negatives in this one. So you don't really have to go to the corner and stop. You could even, it's just the fact that he's crashing the net. So you could come here, turn, feed him, and then you have a good chance to put it in the back of the net. So that's the second play. And the third play on the two-man rush is, well, this is just the alternate of what the first main play was, so that's okay. And this is the other one where you have a guy on the wing and a man coming through the center. And it's almost the same as the far wings play, but what happens here is because he doesn't have that much space to turn, he kind of just does a little loop and then cuts across. So nothing like a major loop. You want him to get to the net as fast as he can because you don't know how much time you have with your winger. So those kind of plays, this one as well as this one, this is just the alternate side of the other play I showed you, play number 2. It works really well if you have speedy players, for one, and let's say you're going on a 2-on-1. You could fake to the cut inside, go outside, and then this guy's coming in, and you have a pretty good chance, if he's not going full speed, that you would be able to put it in the back of the net. So those are my 2-man rush plays. Let's take a look at our 3-man rush plays, which you have 3 different kinds of plays available, and 2 are just kind of like the alternates of each other. So in this case, we start off, and play number 1 and play number 3 is basically the same. It's just from other sides. Player number 2 is when the center has it. And both are kind of the same in terms of one man's cutting across the net with our 2-man rush. So what we have is, let's say one guy cuts across here, he goes into that, and he could feed it either to the man cutting across, or he could feed it to the man, if that man's covered, he could feed it to the man waiting around in the slot, or sorry, like right behind the face-off circle, like Kessel in this case, and just snipe it with a wrist shot. So as you can see, break out, you could stop, feed it across, or here, and would make that play. Also, you don't have to cut in right away. What you can do is go like this, and then kind of just make a play. Your guys kind of get open. You don't want everyone going to the net. You don't want everyone staying back. So in this case, you have one guy going to the corner, one guy going to the front of the net, and one guy staying around the hash mark kind of area for the shot. And that's what you really want in this game. You don't want to waste. You want to cover as much space as you can. You don't want everyone bunched up together unless it's in front of the net, which in that case you would want. So this also is another play, kind of similar. You have both players cutting across. So what you can do is you could stop, feed him, and then go with that, like a 3-man pass kind of play. So you could do that with the centerman, either stop, and then what you can do is feed him, and then the goalie's just confused at this point. But this is kind of hard to do. Let's say a 3-on-3, like even strength. You want to work this on 3-on-1 because that way the passes will connect a lot easier. Also, what you can do is you could cut across this way, feed him, and just go in. So anyways, your players are giving you options, and you don't want to go to the net with this guy because then what happens when they poke it off, your other 2 forwards are in front of the net, and that could lead to an easy breakout for the other team. Finally, the third play compared, which is really similar to the first play. It's the same thing, just cutting across. And plays like this are one of the foundations that really make me the player that I am. Like, I wouldn't think that creative play would make that much of a difference, but trust me, this kind of stuff works real well. See, the player gets open, and it's really easy to create goal scoring opportunities. What you also want to do is have, if you can, an ultimate team, and what might make it easier is your wingers to have opposite side sticks, because what would happen is, let's say if Kadri, in this case, who's on the right wing, was a righty, he would have to go to his backhand to finish the goal as he's cutting across, which it's a lot easier just to go normal on the forehand, because you can make that play a lot faster, and the backhand's really unreliable in NHL 13. So anyways, that will be the end of my creative play section. Hope this helps you guys out. Feel free to use it. I don't mind. So once again, the rush plays, I'll go over each play again. The first play and the third play are basically opposites of each other. You have a guy going skating down the wing, and you have a man waiting up around the point and top of face-off area, and a guy cutting across to the front of the net. And play number 2 is both players kind of cut across the front of the net. What I also did was Bozak, in this case on the left wing, would kind of make a gentle turn, and Kadri would make kind of a sharp turn, which would in that play it would give Kadri more time to go across and a chance to score an easier goal. You see there, it's always a chance for goal interference. That's the thing you have to watch out for. And what you don't want to do, so let's say with Kessel you have open space. You go this way with the play, but then look, 3 people in front rebound, and then they have a breakout. So that's always dangerous play. So once again, let's take a look at our 2-man rush. It's the 3 main plays. Here you could have either a drop pass that could lead to a slap shot, or like just create with that play. You have the other 2-man play, which is the 2 wingers, where one would cut across the front of the net, and as well the center and winger is kind of also the guy cuts across, but he doesn't have that much of a wind up, so he kind of just goes across like that, and that's how that one would work. And finally, last but not least, you have the overload. I think you guys remember that, but I'll show you it once again. The breakout, the aggressive breakout. You have this guy waiting here. You hit both guys in stride on the wing, and then that would lead to a good chance. You can also come back and set up this guy right here, and then break out with that, since you have 2 men already up waiting for the puck, and if they're open you could always hit them in stride. Also, you could go like this and just turn back around and then hit this guy, hit that guy, and you have 2 men waiting up front to make a chance. And finally, the last play, which was my overload play. Now this one doesn't work always. You got to keep that in mind. It's just whenever the players are in that perfect position and it actually works. Sometimes the players just stand around. It's a really effective play to get that clapper around the hash marks. Also feed it in front and make plays from that. So anyways, that will be the end of my plays that I'm showing you right now, my created plays. Once again, feel free to use them, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace. Follow me on Twitter for the latest updates on my videos.